So the Siouxland community is one of those places where I think once you come here, you may not realize how amazing it is until you get connected. I remember moving here thinking, I don't know if this is a place for me, and then through my work and through getting involved with different organizations, I really realized that people here really, truly care about this community. And I love that if you care about something enough in Siouxland and you want to get involved and change something, you can do that.
And growing community connections, our goal is to help better the lives of the children and families we serve. We bring together collaboration partners from lawyers to doctors to service agencies to hospitals to our city officials, all kinds of people throughout the community to come together and work on bettering those lives of the children and families.
Growing community connections strengthens the community by bringing a holistic way of helping those in need, especially is to prevent any critical situation that may arise, whether it's mental, whether it's someone not having a place to stay or live, or even just not having a meal.
I think that people frequently, especially from what I hear, feel stuck and they feel alone. And connection is everything. People knowing that they belong and that they're a part of something is really important. Just have somebody walk alongside of you, and that's what Growing Community Connections does.
We really are starting to address things as systemic issues instead of dealing with a symptom of a problem and just dealing with a one-off type of situation, addressing that issue and then wondering why things continue to happen and reoccur. Now we can come around, really look at an issue or a problem and start to identify what are the core issues, what are the systemic things that working together we can push ahead and make a difference in.
A lot of times we misinterpret what's going on with people that are dealing with poverty. So we look at they don't have housing, or they don't have clothing, or they don't have something, and we think, oh, they're neglectful parents, or they're not doing what they're supposed to. When in reality, it's circumstances that we as a collaboration can come around and change. We know that prevention is huge. Prevention is getting all those supports in for our families in front of things so that they can go forward successfully.
I work with at-risk youth, and I frequently am telling people I do not work with the have-nots, right? I do not work with the rejects. I do not work with the throwaways. Like, these kids are our leaders. They just need to have a chance. They need to have somebody breathe that life into them. That's something also that Growing Community Connections does.
We do have a growing population, and we have a growing appreciation for the diversity of the population that we serve. Whether someone is 6 years old, 6 months old, or 60 years old, we appreciate that person, no matter what their background is, what language they speak, where they grew up, how they arrived in Siouxland, if they were born here, whatever it might be. We just really are welcoming them, appreciating them, and wanting to seek ways to make everyone part of the Siouxland community.
I've moved here about 20 years ago, and one of the things that Growing Community Connections has done is make a huge difference for people who don't necessarily are from here, but whether they come from another state or they come from another country, they come here and they see that there is a sense of belonging. It's not just one fits all, but it's everyone, and they just try to help them. So I think that Growing Community Connections has allowed this community to come more together and to embrace the different cultures that we have in this community.
So I think what inspires me to be involved with this group is the speed at which change happens when we're connected like this. It doesn't take forever to solve a problem. We see organizations and people and businesses coming to the table, and when we can solve problems faster, we can move forward and do bigger and better things.